Oh boy. Welcome back, fellas. Today is Sunday, August 9th, 2026. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready to do this. We're ready to take off. We're ready to, nothing is in our way except ourselves. Often that is the case with many things in life. The only thing stopping you is yourself, right? So what you really got to do is you just got to leave yourself behind and move forward. Just keep moving forward, and that's what we intend to do on this stream today. I hope everybody's doing well. We are live on YouTube and live on Twitch. And actually, I think I figured out why. I guess it was a couple of days ago. I was streaming on two different YouTube streams and on Twitch. And I think it's a bug in Streamlabs. And I think I have a theory about how I can exploit that bug. But I did it. But it kind of just came to me 2 minutes before I started the stream. So I didn't want to try it today. But maybe we'll try it tomorrow on Monday or something like that. Well, we'll try it because I think there's a way. But the problem is I think it would only allow me to multi-stream. The bug, I think, can only exploit streaming on multiple YouTube streams. So I don't know how useful that is. But we can try it anyway because maybe there's something like with Twitch or Kick or something like that. But then again, it might be usable with Twitch. Wait a minute. Does Twitch... Actually, I don't even know about this. Let me see. I'm going to go to Twitch. I'm going to try and go to my Twitch account. All right, there I am. Look how handsome I am. Now, the question is, can I schedule... Wait, how would this work? No, maybe. Maybe. Okay, the question is, can I schedule a stream on Twitch? I'm pretty sure I can. But, okay, creator dashboard. All right, manage stream. Because it depends on being able to schedule a stream. That's what depends. I have one viewer anyway. So that one viewer is me. Thank you very much. I'm viewing myself, which is fine because I do many things for myself. So, especially these days, it's a little dry right now. It's a little dry. Let me see. Start goal. Okay. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna play with that off stream, which is generally good advice because if you want to play with it on stream, there's other websites for that. So, what are we gonna do today? I think we're just gonna go back to working on our C++ program, and the Reddit console programming thingy. Let's go ahead and get that up here. All right. And we did get it working with Windows, which is really good. So let me go ahead and get Visual Studio loaded up. So the weekend is over. Oh, wait, I had 3 things I need to do today. I've done 1, but that's okay because it's only noon. So there's still time to do these other 3 things. So I still have plenty of time. One of them is going to take me 30 seconds to do. I don't know why I've been putting it off for a week. The other one's going to take maybe an hour or 2. So I'm probably going to do that after. I'm going to start that after I finish this stream. So that's my plan for today. I don't know where the usual crowd is. Let me go ahead and actually because actually I don't know that Discord says that because I think I changed the event in Discord. So let's go do this. I'm live, fellas. Not that anybody cares. It's a little dry these days. Everything's dry. That's the theme. I mean, in high school they called me the dry kid. So it's just how it goes. Okay, so we've got that, but then again, it's Sunday. So if I look at the people that I send the stream to, a lot of them are here on the East Coast, so it's Sunday, 12 o'clock, but then a good portion of them are in GMT plus 3 or 2. GMT plus 2? What time zone is Finland in? Because there is Finland in. A lot of them are in Finland. Okay, so GMT plus 3. Oh, that's right, because because England's only 4 hours ahead of us right now. Okay, so GMT plus 3. So anyway, wait, does that mean when I was in Botswana that I was in GMT plus 2? Wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. I thought it was in GMT plus 1. Somehow I turned okay, so I was in GMT plus 2 Central African time. And then JokeSpot says plus 3. It's summertime. Okay, for some reason I got the streams crossed, and you should never cross your streams, as we all know. I got a bunch of tabs open here. I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna take this off screen for a minute because I don't know everything that's quite there. So I want to close everything. There we go. Okay, great. We can bring those back. It is very warm today. It has been very warm. This got me really sad. So I mean, I've been sad for multiple reasons lately. Especially sad about leaving Botswana, right? So here's what got me really sad about one of the things that got me sad about leaving Botswana. So if I go to weather and then I go here, so you can see it feels like 100 degrees outside. I went on a run today, and I went on a run fairly early at like 7:30 in the morning, and it was nearly unbearable. Now it's even more unbearable. What's the forecast look like? But if I go over to Gaborone in Botswana, it's a beautiful 70 degrees, but look at night. It gets to 46, and then I was looking at the forecast. It's going to be down. Like, people are going to be wearing winter coats. Now, of course, next week it's getting really warm, but people are going to be wearing winter coats. Oh God. Oh man, I would kill for that weather. I'd kill for that weather. So anyway, but let's look at Ushuaia, because that's weather I would really kill for. Let's check out Ushuaia's weather. Ushuaia, they're getting a lot of wind, which is interesting because it wasn't a very windy city when I was there. It didn't. So there are, at the bottom of South America, there are two not major cities, but I would say two fairly big cities. There's Ushuaia, which I think is more known. It's just because it's actually the further south of the two cities, and like if you're going to take a cruise to Antarctica, you will usually go to Ushuaia. So that's better known. But the other one, which was a bigger city than I thought, was Punta Arenas. Punta Arenas. Now, I think arena means sand, I think. Punta Arenas in Chile. Punta Arenas. Justin is in the chat room. There's something about challenging yourself and running in the heat. Yeah, I mean, it's a good challenge. Wait, that's Punta Arena, California. No, Punta Arenas. There we go. Oh, God, it was the first one, Chile. Okay, I want to check this out because I want to see. Okay, so it's about the same temperature as Ushuaia, but Punta Arenas was really, really windy. Really windy. And if I had to pick between the two, I would probably pick Ushuaia just because it's more walkable. Like when I was in Punta Arenas, I rented a car, which was probably the smartest thing I did on that trip, was renting a car, because otherwise it would have just been a nightmare, because it's actually I wouldn't say it's a big town. It is a big town, but it's a very spread out town. Whereas Ushuaia is a very compact town. Like there's a very defined downtown in Ushuaia as opposed to Punta Arenas, which is just like spread out. So I really like Punta Arenas. I did like Punta Arenas, but I really liked Ushuaia. I'd kind of like to go back to southern Chile or southern Argentina. But the one town that I really, really liked, I've talked about it before in this stream, was El Calafate. Like, El Calafate was just such a cool, funky little town. How is the volume on the music? I think it's probably fine. But it was just like this, I don't know how to explain it, but it was just this cool little... It was just a cool little city that I had never heard of. The only reason we went there is because my wife had heard of it. And I guess, like, if you're going to do, like, glacier hiking or mountain climbing, like, you go to El Chante, which is a little town, or El Calafate. But in the winter, El Chante kind of just shuts down. There's, like, nobody there. But El Calafate is still, like, it's still there. It's still a big town. Justin says the volume is fine. Thank you, Justin. Justin, it is noon. I have to ask the question. I have to ask, because I got to give you hell. How many drinks have you had? And don't say 0, because I'll know you're lying. How many stiff drinks have you had? Not yet. Okay. All right. Well, I kind of believe that because at least you put a qualifier on it saying that like it's coming. But why don't you just not drink today? Like, look, you had a week here. You had a week here up in Virginia where you and David were just like going hard, just like a bender, just like. So let's look at a calendar. Let's look. We're gonna put a timeline to Justin's bender, to his drinking. So that was the week that everything was kind of falling apart for me in Botswana. Which week? I think it was this week here. So you were like in Virginia, like basically, I don't know if you were in Virginia the whole week, but we'll just do this. And then I know you went to Vegas on like the 30th and you were in Vegas. And now you get home and you're like drinking at 9 o'clock during the day on a Friday, like 9 o'clock a.m. So you've been going hard for like 3 weeks now. Why don't we pump the brakes a little bit and just kind of like back off? Like let's see if you can do it. Stefan says El Calafate doesn't sound great. El Calafate is awesome. It is an awesome little town. Justin says, creepy how this guy keeps track of me. It's not that I keep track of you. It's that, like, I'm friends with you, and I'm friends with David. So when you and David are telling me that, like, you're there, you're here, like, it's not keeping track of you as much as it's having a fucking memory. That's what it is. I'm able to remember things. Will Tyler says, day drinking. Nice. Day drinking has its time and place, right? Day drinking is not acceptable when you're working. Well, okay, let me back up. If you're day drinking with the CEO or like somebody high up in the company and you're like on some like business retreat or like something like that, okay. But if you're just working remote, sitting at home on a random Friday and you're supposed to be getting shit done, that's where day drinking is not appropriate. So day drink. I went back when I was like a heavy, not a heavy drinker, but when I was a drinker, because I've never been a heavy drinker. Maybe there was like a brief period of time where I was like a heavy drinker, but back when I was a drinker, I really did enjoy day drinking. I had this birthday once. I think it was like 2019, 18, 17. I think it was 2018, actually. 2018. I had this birthday, and me and a friend, like, I remember like my plan was just to go get drunk like during the day, and it was like a Saturday. So this would have been, you know what? I bet I can narrow it down. Let me see. Let's see if we can narrow this down. It would have been like, how can I do this? Can't I just, isn't there an easy way to select the year? All right, well, I got time. But I remember I got to this bar at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I texted my friend. I was like, hey, it's like, she knew it was my birthday, so I'm like, hey, it's my birthday. Or like, I was like, hey, I'm already at, I don't remember what bar I was at. It was some bar in Reston Town Center. But I was like, hey, I'm at such and such bar. It wasn't Jackson's, but I was like, hey, I'm at such and such bar. Do you want to get a drink with me? And she was like, yeah, sure. And so she showed up. Yeah, it was 2000. I think, no, it wasn't 2019. It would have been 2018. So it would have been a Saturday. Let's see. Let's go back. Yes, 2014, March 24th, 18. So I text her, I'm like, okay, like, she's like, okay, I'll be there soon, because she lived nearby. And then she shows up at like 11:30 a.m. And we just, like, it was actually a really good birthday because we just got fucking hammered. Like, it was bar, restaurant, bar. Oh my God, it was so good. That was actually a really good birthday and one of the fonder memories I have of that person. And then she just kind of, like, she was already headed, like, she was on the downfall. Because apparently I go for broken women, and I could sense that, like, she was on the path to being broken. Not quite broken yet, but she was definitely on the path to being broken. And I just wanted to draw a little graph of like how broken this person was. And oh shit, nope, didn't want to do that. And it was just bad. Like, Like I would say, like if I do the scribble tool, like she was up here, and then it was just like it was like a logarithmic equation just down to the bottom. And my birthday was probably right around. No, it wasn't. She was already on her way. Yeah, it was probably like right around here is when my birthday happened. And then soon after that, she just like here's the thing about like being, and so the area I live in is this area called Northern Virginia, which is it's to the west of Washington, D.C., which of course is the capital of the best country in the world. And I mean, freedom, like you can't argue with it. Freedom, right? So anyway, I feel that moving to when I lived in Reston, Virginia, and actually when I lived in Northern Virginia, there are three friends that I made that live in the area. And all three of those friends, at some point in my friendship, I bailed them out of jail. All three of them, I bailed out of jail. So, sounds like a memory. Yes, Justin, I remember where you were. Stefan says, corporate Addy stinks. Justin's laughing, and then Will Tyler says, see my Discord messages in live stream chat relevant to day drinking. Okay, let me go over to the Discord. I don't see your messages. Live stream chat. Wait a minute. Let me look there. I don't see your messages. Nope. I don't see them. I don't care for Northern Virginia. Justin says I want to get out of here. I mean, I tried moving to Botswana. That's how bad I wanted to get out of here. But no, it's not the greatest of areas, just because it's like super. I don't know how to explain it. It's like super suburban. It's like if you took the dictionary definition of suburb, that the definition would describe Northern Virginia. Like I'm not a big fan. Barat says, hello. Justin says, traffic is confused. Is it confused or is it just bad? It's confused, I guess he says. I don't know. I don't think it's that. I mean, I don't know that I would describe the traffic as confused. But it's definitely not great. But then again, I work from home, and then again, I'm leaving not this week, but the week after. I'm heading back to Africa, so it's all good. Okay, so what are we going to work on? We're going to work on our little Reddit client is what we're going to work on. And then, what is the command? I know the find command doesn't work. Wait a minute. I think I have history. Let me see. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Wait, does it really not save your history? Really? Oh, come on. That's just ridiculous. Okay. Well, okay. The fact that it doesn't save your history. You know what? Before we do that, let's play a game of chess. Why don't we do that? Let me center the chessboard for our mobile viewers. Oh, excuse me. All right there. Easy. Okay, let's play a game. Let me size this a little bit bigger. If only we could do that with other things in life. Okay. All right. We're gonna do that. We're gonna play a 10 minute ad 5 seconds game. Nah. We're gonna play a 15-minute game. Or do we want to be crazy? Oh wait, I thought there was a 30-minute option. All right, we're gonna play 15 minutes. Justin says it's not like Atlanta. Justin just loves Atlanta, like he does. I hate Atlanta. It's still chaos, but people know where they're going. Barat says that's Windows for you. It is. Justin says, haha, size. Some people are just blessed. I mean, some people are. Some people, they definitely are. But then again, so I knew, okay, this is going to be TMI, and especially for somebody that I work with, but whatever. He knew what he was getting himself into by loading up this stream. So I had this friend, Tom Nick. I've talked about Tom Nick on this stream before. And it kind of came to light that I don't remember how it came to light, but I think he probably mentioned it. And I guess one of his exes had mentioned it or something. But it came to light. I got to stop saying came to light. It came to light, all right? It became known in our friend circle that Tom Nick was very blessed in a certain area. I would say like there is a certain type of movie that he was qualified to star in. That's how gifted it was said to that he was said to be, right? And so this was kind of known. It was just kind of known that like that he was gifted in this certain area. Well, then I remember I was also friends like with one of his ex-girlfriends, and so Tom Nick had dated this other girl, and so I used to have the Addie and Gabe show. Like Stefan knows about the Addie and Gabe show. It was the best show. It was the best talk radio show in Frederick County on Christian talk radio between 4 and 6 p.m. True story. Anyway, I'm a little. I got to think for a second. Okay, I'll go here. So anyway, so on the Addie and Gabe show, Tom Nick was a regular member of the Addie and Gabe show. He was on the Addie and Gabe show quite often, and there was this one particular evening where Tom Nick was very upset. He was very upset because he was dating this woman, and and they broke up. Like he didn't want to break up. She broke up with him, so he was heartbroken. So now there was this drink called, it wasn't Everclear, Black House. There was this particular liquor called Black House that, like, for whatever reason, the bar that we used to go to, Black House was a very Black House. It was a very common, yes, this right here. We used to drink it like by the bottles. It was ridiculous how much we drank, how much Black House we drank. And so this one day I buy a bottle of Black House and I'm like, all right, well, Tom Nick is really depressed. So we're just going to go and we're just going to get, we're going to let Tom Nick have as much Black House as he wants. It's Tom Nick's night because he's heartbroken. And so we spend the whole night basically just like talking about his breakup because he was very sad. And he just goes on this rant. He goes on this rant about how, like, you know, because you go through like these stages of grief with people. Wait, I can't take that. Wait, give me a second. That's pinned. Oh, I can take that. Yes, I can take it because that night is pinned. Black House looks gross. It's kind of like a schnapps, it was like a sweet liqueur. I'll just take. He can't take because now that night is pinned. Ah! So he's getting really wasted. He's getting really wasted this one night. Wait, he can take with the queen. If he takes with the queen... Wait a minute. He takes with the queen. I take. He takes. Right? Why is this, the website, the arrow drawing is like broken. That's weird. Okay, so anyway, so Tom Nick's getting wasted. And he starts talking about, like, you know, forget her, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, I'm making it a little more family friendly, you know, whatever. Oh, wait, I can take this. Now he's just down a rook. Thought that was almost another rook. Okay, just give me a minute. All right, boys, just give me a second. I want to finish this story, but I want to finish this game too. That was a dumb move on my part. No, it wasn't. It's actually a good move. Wait a second. He doesn't have any more. He doesn't have a rook, so I don't have to worry about back rank mate. I go here. Oh my god, why? The arrow drawing is broken. Like, the arrow drawing's gotten really bad all of a sudden. I'm going to write down where I was in the middle of this Tom Nick story because I wanted to clip it because it's a good story. It's not really a good story. Okay, so we're going to go here. I think I can win this night, depending. Yeah, I can win the night. I think. Yes. Because that's check. Oh, shit. I didn't even see that. Is he going to take it? Fuck. I had that one blunder. That might cost me the game. That might. I mean, I have more. No, yeah, I have one more pawn. I have a rook for a bishop and a knight. I didn't even see that. God damn it! I'm resigning. All right. See, this is your fault. This is the internet's fault. Anyway, all right. So let me get back to my story. So we're doing the show. We're doing the Addie and Gabe show, and he's just taking shot after shot, getting completely hammered. And at one point, like, he just starts talking about how he knows. He's like, he says something to the extent of, like, you know, it's going to be her loss because I know I'm great in bed because I'm at least 10 inches, and I just know I'm so good in bed. And so we're just cracking up, right? But, like, it's funny. And so a day or two later, one of his ex-girlfriends, she comes over to my house because we're kind of like hooking up. And so I'm like, we're talking about Tom Nick because I met Tom Nick through her. And so we're talking about him, and I'm just like, oh my God, yeah, he got so wasted the other night. And, look, let's just recap why this story started. The story started because we were talking about how some people are more blessed in that area than others. But just the fact that you are more blessed does not give you, it doesn't necessarily mean you're better at certain things. And that's how this story started, because I play this for his ex-girlfriend. I play this like drunken, just like, because I just thought it was hilarious, because it was pretty hilarious. Stefan, if he's still in the chat room, he may remember that when Tom Nick just gets completely wasted. And so I play that for her, and then as soon as Tom Nick says I know that I'm great in bed and because of this, and she's like, no, absolutely not. And I'm like, what? She's like, no. She's like, it's true that he is gifted and could star in movies, but no. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's the point. It's just because, like, if you have the equipment, like, it helps to have the equipment, but you have to know how to use the equipment. And honestly, like, even if you don't have a really, like, double wide big rig truck, you can still get the job done with a normal sized truck. I mean, so my friends tell me, like, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard, you know, because of course, like, you know, I'm gifted and talented. So anyway, Stefan says that was a good episode. It was a good episode. It was, you know, I've been slowly going through the Addie and Gabe shows and putting them back on YouTube. Like, I kind of want to like, there are a few up there. Like, if you go to I think I did, at least. Let me see. Addie and Gabe show. Yeah, there we are. Wait, what was this? I don't know how the rest of these, but yeah, this is me years ago. Okay, so we have one video up. This is, of course, where so we kind of like when we were doing this quote unquote this internet radio show, we were on an internet radio network called NHB, and it was ran by this guy named Damon Fabrio, who, for whatever reason, his mom went to high school with some of the people from Quiet Riot, and he thought that was just like a right to brag.
My mom went to high school with some of the people from Quiet Riot.
And there you go, from Damon's mouth himself. Damon Fabrio, general manager of this day. Yeah, the thing about the Addie and Gabe show is, like, there were lots of, like, inside jokes about it, like, just, like, a lot of inside jokes. So most of the, like, and the thing about inside jokes is, like, if you're not in on the joke, you're not going to get the joke. So that's the problem. AddieandGabeShow.com. Yeah, this is it. This is the entire website. Barat says point taken. Yes, Barat. The point should be taken. What about dudes that drive big trucks? What about dudes that drive big trucks? I don't think there's any correlation to driving a big truck and the size of your equipment. I really don't think there's any correlation. I think because I'm trying to think. It's hard for me to say because I don't have insecurity issues. I personally don't have insecurity issues with that. So I don't know if I did. But I don't think I would. I just don't think I would try to compensate for it in any way if I did. So anyway, Justin says, I faintly remember you mentioning this show. Yes, the Audio and Game Show. Stefan says, did Tom Nick become a truck driver? He was a truck driver for not many years. He was a truck driver for, I think, like 4 or 5 years. So Tom Nick and I kind of we would go in it. We would go in and out of speaking. All right. We went in and out of speaking for a while. And then he became when we were not speaking, there was a period where we weren't speaking where he became because he delivered pizzas and he was living in his father's basement. Like things weren't going too well for him. And then he became a truck driver. And he was a truck driver for several years, but the problem is that the vibration of the truck was doing something with his pancreas, and basically it was just you have to stop driving trucks and for medical reasons. So he had to quit the job, which sucked for him because he loved that job. But and then the last I heard from him, we email every now and then, and the last I heard from him was he was living in a halfway house because he had gotten into trouble because I guess the way he puts it is he saw some guy attacking a woman, so he hit the guy with his car to stop the attack. And then he was facing legal trouble for that. So I don't know. I don't quite understand. I his email, and also when he emails you, he's one of those people that just write a book. They write a short novel with a basic email question. I mean, with you ask him a basic question and you're like, okay, well, this should only necessitate a few email that is a few sentences long. And no, he writes you an entire a short novel. Let me do this really quick. I'm gonna do this. Having a relationship with Addie is emotionally complex. I disagree. I think what it is that I think having a friendship with me is Stefan's been a friend. I've known Stefan longer than I've known you, Justin. And I've never Stefan and I have always been good. I've always been close. I don't know that Stefan and I have ever had any type of animosity or anything. So I don't know. I mean, Stefan. He has a cabin on his property specifically for me, so that when everything starts falling apart for me, it almost did in Botswana, but when things start falling apart for me, I can go to this cabin and just shut myself in there and cry. It's actually called Uncle Addie's Crying Cabin. So because he has 2 children, and he needs to tell the kids no, you don't go, or Stefan, the way that Stefan speaks, he has this very low voice, kind of with it sounds like a Russian accent, and no, don't go near that is Uncle Addie's Crying Cabin, don't go near there. And so that's what he would tell his children. So you need to know how to drive the big truck, else it's just a waste of a big truck to some extent. Yeah I mean, you do. It's true. All right, so what are we going to do? Wait a minute. I asked AI to do something for me. Okay. That's something. Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Nope. I am not going to let that bother me. Stefan. Yes. It's with an F. Joke Spot is my buddy Stefan who lives in Finland. And actually, when I met Stefan in 2014, I think it was, the big joke was because Stefan and I, at that point, we'd known each other for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. And I remember the joke was that I kept telling people, yes, I'm going to Finland to meet a guy that I met off the internet. So, I'm going to rural Finland to meet a man that I met on the internet. Which, of course, is always, which is true. And it was a lovely trip. It was a lovely, it actually, I mean, it might have been, it was a lovely trip for Stefan because he got to meet me. For me, it was like, I wasn't in my right head during that trip. I was kind of like an emotional mess during that trip. It was bad. It was a bad trip. It's all right, though. Finland's beautiful. I did love the train. Stefan says, #sexy. Soda tastes weird. Look at you now. Look at me now. I know. Now I am the beacon of emotional stability. Yep. No problems. No nothing. Nope. Everything is just fine. Everything is fine and dandy. As a matter of fact, I should teach a class. No, look at me. I'm like, I have this like fake knife. I'm like, no. Okay. We're gonna work on this. I gotta find the executable, but I need to find. Give me a minute. I need to find the command to find the executable because I don't remember that. I want to. Okay. All right. No, that didn't bug me at all. That thing I saw over here didn't bug me in the least. Okay. On Linux, I can do find //name quote star.exe. How can I do the same in PowerShell? Got to figure that out. And Bharat, by the way, is a young man. He's a young. I've been friends with both. My relationship with Bharat is a little complex because I met him at work. He works for the company I work for, and then at one point I was his boss, and then he left the company, and we maintained our friendship, and now he's back, and I still am his boss. So that's why I got to be like super careful. Yeah. Okay, so this would be... Okay, I like this command here. This is the one I'm thinking of. Justin, you know PowerShell really well, don't you? I feel like you're like a PowerShell guy. Because you're a Windows guy. Justin, he works for he works for Bill Gates. And okay, let me back up. So he had this software company, and they Microsoft bought them for something like $500 million, and Justin, of course, got a huge payout from that. So now Justin, he's like, part of the deal, from what I understand, was that he has a contract with Microsoft now for basically a guaranteed 5 years of employment at $800,000 a year. So that's basically Justin's life. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, this is right here. Easy. No, that thing I saw did not bug me at all. Didn't bug me at all. Okay, so we're still logged in. We did... Oh, we're not logged in. I need some type of like status thing or something. Okay. What is git? Like, I added all these random commands to this little shell program. It just kind of became like, well, what kind of things would I want to do when I'm inside the shell? Oh, you know what? I would want a command that tells me what time it is, as well as the epoch timestamp. I would also like a command that lets me ping websites, and apparently I added that as well. I don't know why. Git loads the web page, the Git page. Okay, issue. Oh, I can load up the issue page right here. Look at I wrote these in 2019. Some of these issues are going back to 2017. Oh, HTML scraping method. Okay, so here's an interesting. I wish Not Sure was here because he would appreciate this conversation we're about to have. So Reddit Reddit had this API, right? They had this API, and so they have an API that's basically just a JSON REST API. Very, basic stuff, no big deal. And they had lots of, so you had lots of Reddit clients that were using this, like lots of Reddit programs. Like I remember Stefan, actually, he introduced me to one, I think it was called Reddit is Fun or Reddit is Easy. I can't remember which it was. And then there was like another one that was like, it was called Narwhal, which I really liked, but Narwhal was specifically, I think, for iPhone. And so there were these various Reddit clients that that people would use because the official Reddit client sucks. It's awful. I've tried using it a couple times. I don't really use Reddit that much nowadays, but I tried using I tried using the official Reddit client, and it's just terrible. And so Reddit. So it had all these different third-party applications that could interface with it. So I guess back in it couldn't have been 2017. When did that happen, Stefan? When Reddit basically shut down all the third-party apps. Basically what Reddit did was the API was free to use. And then Reddit basically changed it so that, because what you got to do is you have an account on Reddit, and then with that account, you register an API key, and then so you have to add that API key to every. How is this working actually? Wait a minute. How is this working? Okay, let me go back. So basically, you have to add this. At least I thought you did. You had to add this API key to basically every call you made to the API. Well, what Reddit did was they changed it so that your API key will get, I don't know, 1,000 or whatever it is, 1,500. 2,000, whatever it is, some number of requests in a month or a week, or again, I don't know the actual restrictions, but basically they said, okay, yeah, because before it was unlimited, but now they were saying that, like, no, you only get so many, X number of requests within Y time period, and that fucked, and it was very low. And that fucked so many third-party applications, because now, like, the application would stop working after you exceeded this amount unless the developer paid up, and that just fucked tons of them. So there's actually two different ways. There might be more, but there's two different ways that you can circumvent this, and it still bugs me that no Reddit client has done this. And actually, maybe that's the project we need to do. One of them is pretty fragile. The other one, you know what? I really wish Not Sure was here. God damn it. Not Sure. Wait. Not Sure. Where are you? I'm getting ready to have an interesting technical discussion that I know you would appreciate. Oh, he's here. Okay. He is here. Okay. So anyway, so what I was talking about, Not Sure, is how Reddit, what they did a few years ago is that you had all these third-party applications that were basically Reddit clients, that basically you could read Reddit through this application. And of course, those Reddit applications, they required an API key. Easy, fair enough, to the point. Let me get some decent music. Let me see. Okay, we'll just go with this. That's gonna kind of make me cry. I don't want to listen to that. All right, this is gonna give me a copyright violation, but that's all right. Not a violation. It's just gonna be like, this can't be monetized. Well, whatever. Anyway, That's okay because Justin's going to, hey, Justin, send me a super chat. Come on, Justin. You got the big bucks. Do the super chat. Justin says, first time I met Addy, he was sitting at the bar playing chess with his iPad, and I still suck, by the way. I was telling this story to Dave about being on the road, getting home, watching the game, and reaching into the pocket to grab Vicine. Oh, yeah, no, I know that story. Instead, it was travel mouthwash, and it flooded my eyes. Super chat. Yes, Justin. So what you do, here's what you can do. I'm going to show Justin how to super chat because he's a boomer and he doesn't know how to use computers. All right, so let's see. If we go to Addy and Gabe, not Addy and Gabe, Addy goes places. All right, easy. Okay, we go here. All right. I'm going to mute myself. Look how good looking I am. So over here is the chat room. What you do is you press this button right here. This button, and one of these. Oh, I think it's probably because I'm signed into my own account. Okay, let me wait a minute. Is this my Naughty Boy browser? I've been using my Naughty Boy browser the whole time. You guys didn't tell me. Oh my God. Okay, let me use my Good Boy browser. Why didn't you guys tell me I was using my Naughty Boy browser? Okay. Okay, I do have music playing actually. Okay, so if I go to Addy Goes Places. All right, easy. Right. Okay, and go here. Now, over here, this $ button, this is, you can do, you have various different ways that you can send me money. One of them is a super chat, right? And so you can select the amount you want to give, and then you type in your chat message, and basically what happens is, it gets up in a big red banner, and then everybody sees it, and then I go, "Oh, Justin, thank you for the super chat." And so, you know. So anyway, I recommend you play around with the $. You know, you can also gift some memberships to people. You can also join up. I think you already have a membership. I think you actually are a member already, Justin. Anyway, so that's what a super chat is. So, but you don't have to super chat. I'm just teasing you. Okay, so let me get back to my API, the Reddit thing. So Reddit at some point decided that they were going to start charging money for their API. And this pissed off a lot of people because now you had all these third party tools, or not third, you had all these third party applications or Reddit readers essentially, that were basically useless. Just like completely, you don't look hungry. I'm starving. I can't afford. Look, I'm getting ready to go back to Africa in a couple of weeks. Okay, in like 12 days. So I need the money. Anyway, so if Not Sure is still listening, what I was going to talk about is there's two ways that I see to circumvent this. Right, two ways that I can see of how, but one way is a very fragile implementation, and the other way requires people to be a little not tech savvy, but it requires an extra step that might turn people off. Justin says, not sure why you're going back. I am. I sent you a picture as to why I'm going back. It's rough. It's rough. What is this? What's Justin? Now Justin's sending me a picture. For some reason, I can't view it on my computer. Let me look at my phone. Hannah texted me saying she was coming to the stream. I don't see Hannah. Oh. Justin sent me a picture of me and me and me. Anyway. You're not supposed to violate robots.txt. That has nothing to do with this. That has nothing to do with Reddit. It literally has nothing to do with it. I swear, Not Sure drives me nuts. He just throws out these terms. Like, it drives me crazy. I love the guy, and I'm still going to try and talk him into moving in to these rooms, but he drives me nuts. So I mentioned Not Sure. I said there's two ways. There's one that's very fragile, and then there's one that requires an extra step. The scraper, an HTML scraper, is the fragile one, right? Because the HTML scraper is it depends on the HTML structure being consistent. And at any point, Reddit can change the HTML structure. Now, there are ways around that, especially with AI. Like, I feel like with AI, it could be a little smarter. Like you could have some AI that detects these changes in the HTML and then basically updates your scraper accordingly. Like, that could, in theory, work. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it would still be fragile and subject to breaking. So that's the first way, is HTML scraper. Scrapers are fun to build. HTML scrapers. I've always enjoyed building scrapers. They're fun. HTML scraper. What does Reddit robot.txt say about scraping? As far as I understand robots.txt is a file on the server that basically says how does it work? I forget exactly. Let me see. But if I'm remembering correctly, robots.txt is a server-side thing. So I don't understand how it would be applicable to a user. What does robots.txt do? Stefan says Addy was never the impulsive kind of guy. No, I always thought things through. Okay. It's a welcome no trespassing sign at the front door. It's a simple text file located in the root directory of a domain. It tells automated web crawlers such as Googlebot and Bingbot which parts of the site they are allowed to and not allowed to visit. Yes. So a scraper is not a crawler. That's the first thing. Scraper and crawlers are two different things. Second of all, who gives a shit if you violate it, right? Like that's also kind of the other thing. But you're not violating it because you're not a scraper. You're not a service. You're not an indexing engine like Google that's kind of going through and crawling websites to index them for your search engine. Like that's a completely different use case. Actually, I gotta run downstairs. I'll be right back. Let me run downstairs. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, boys. All right. Ugh. Watch some strange AI movies this weekend. Soulmate. All right. Well, I don't know why you're telling us. Movies about AI or made by AI? That's a good question. I would think they're about AI. Or no, I'm sorry, that they're made by AI. On Twitch, I keep getting spammed about... apparently, I can get AI viewers. Let me look at this. Streamboo.com. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's see how much money it would cost me. Grow your Twitch followers fast. Buy Twitch followers cheap. Okay. Well, okay. Wow. For $40, I can get 10,000 followers. That actually is not a bad deal. Let me see. Let's do $2. Is it that easy? You know what? If somebody super chats me this money, I'll do it. That's a ploy to get money. That's a ploy for Justin to super chat me. Anyway, okay, back to what we were talking about. So the HTML scraper, And that's one way to do it. The other way to do it. So the way that the API key works is, if you have a Reddit account, all you need is a Reddit account, and then you can go to, let me do this really quick, reddit.com. Okay, I am signed in. Okay, so if somewhere in preferences, let's see, apps. Yes. So I can get my own, so like you can see, I don't know if this was the API key that I'm using. Why? I swear I smell like somebody cooking, but I'm the only one home. I don't know where the key is coming from. That's the question. Wait a minute. Let me look at what the requests, because the API key is going to be sent with every request. Okay, access token. I'm pretty sure. No, access tokens when you log in. I'd have to figure this out. But basically what I'm getting at is, so here, if you had an application, right, all you need to do is have the users create their own API key, right? So any user can go to this menu, reddit.com/prefs/apps. Are you a developer? Create an app and basically fill this out. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to call this Justin. And this is going to be an installed application. And then this is Justin's Reddit client. And then the about URL can be basically anything. We're going to call this, lulzapps.com/about. And then the redirect URL, I can talk about if you're really interested in it, but the redirect URL's like, it's not important. We can just do this, right? Okay, now this right here, I'm going to click I'm not a robot and then create the app. Oh, check the URL. Okay, so it doesn't like that. Okay, so we'll just do this. lulzapps.com/redirect. Redirect. Maybe I don't remember what the redirect URL is. Okay. Oh, it's in URI. Okay, whatever. Why is this not working? Let's just do localhost. Am I losing my mind? Give me an example of a redirect URI. Yeah, like this right here, like local develop. Like this is okay. So it wants the actual HTTP. Okay, that's probably what it is. It probably just wants the actual HTTP. Okay. If I had to guess, that's what it wants. Okay. In order to create an application key and use our API, you can read our full... Okay, that's fine. Ugh. Okay, did they update their policies? Okay, all right. So I wonder, they might have changed things. They might have changed things. Apps must be registered and created in developer profile. Okay. So it does look like they've changed things. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure. So the process... it might be a little more stringent, right? Because basically what I was getting at was you could just have users register their own application and have them go to the Reddit website, go through this process, register their own application. They get the API key, and then you just have a dialog box in the program where they paste the API key, and then boom, that's it. It does look like the process has changed. Granted, it has been probably 4 or 5 years since I've last done this, so I don't know. Let me look at something really quick. Wow. So the question I have is, how can we talk Not Sure into moving into my house? Like, he changed his mind, which I think was probably related to me talking about the tiny petite Thai woman that lives here. So I think that might have done. I think that pushed him over the edge. I think that took him from a like, yeah, that's a good idea, to a no way am I getting involved in that. So I'm wondering if that was it. But I need your help, Justin. I need your help, because we need to talk. Somehow we need to convince Not Sure to go ahead and rent the rooms that he was going to rent. And then I was talking to my wife about it last night, and I was like, yeah, no, I think me talking about some of the drama that you and I are going through, I think that's probably what did it. And she's like, oh, no. And I'm like, maybe. And I was like, maybe if we like offer to reduce the price a little bit. And my wife's like, no. Like, she was very, very against, like, Asian people, like, with that kind of thing are like savages. They're just savages. And I'm like, all right, well, okay. So. I don't say anything about Not Sure. No, you shouldn't say anything about. Oh, I don't know anything about Not Sure. Well, Not Sure is right there. He's in the chat room. You would probably like him, Justin. I think you would. For some reason, I think you two would get along. Although I don't think Not Sure is a big drinker. Hold on a second. I dropped some cards under the desk. I need to get them. Give me a sec. Ugh. All right. No, something has kind of happened that got me a little down. Like, I want to stop streaming. Like, I want to turn the stream off, but I'm not going to. So instead, I'm going to do what I've been doing, and that's counting the cards. Not like counting the cards like in a blackjack sort of way. This is like counting the cards to make sure there's 52 here. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Yeah, there's 52. Eddie is an asshole, but he's also charming. I am not an asshole. Like, that's a myth. That's a myth. It's not true. It's not true at all. I'm a very good landlord. I've had the same tenant in my house up in Frederick since 2015. So we're going on 11 years. Actually, you know what? I gotta write that down. Renew Frederick lease. Yeah, because the lease is up at the end of this month, so I need to basically redo the paperwork online. You know what? Let's that'll be a good distraction. Let me see if we can do this. So virtual. I'm gonna let me close this really quick. You can't register your account as an app. Please make sure you're logged in using your normal human Reddit account and that you're typing the user. Okay, well, that's what I thought I was doing. I'm so confused as to what it wants. Look at this. You can't register your own account as an app. Okay, so do I need another? Do I need another developer? Okay, maybe I need another Reddit account. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I really don't. Nashra says, hello, Annie's and I. So, however, from a psychological perspective, I could go into great detail. So this is how I know Justin is drunk. Because there's certain people, and I know you guys know this, like I know you guys know somebody like this, but there are certain people that when they get drunk, suddenly they become philosophers and psychologists. And like, I know you, man. You have a lot of pain inside you. Like, what hurts you? Like, what is going to make you happy? What do you need in life in order to be happy? And then suddenly they love you too, like a lot, because I love you and I just want what's best for you, man. Like what? Like, and it's not that far different than like stoners. Like, cause stoners will do very similar things. Although with stoners, in my experience, stoners, they will combine. They'll either do that or they'll talk about aspirations. I remember my friend James, my dead friend James. Rest in peace, James. I don't know why I just did that, but it felt appropriate. But I remember James. There's this one time. It was 2014. I remember it was 2014 because it was soon after that day that like I got really wasted. And so there is this town on the ocean, not that far from here. It's called Ocean City, Maryland. Not to be confused with Ocean City, New Jersey. Now, I think Ocean City, New Jersey is better known, I think. But if you live in the Washington, D.C. area, you know Ocean City, Maryland. It's basically where people go in the summer. And it's close enough where people, like my wife would do this, like before I met her, where like her and her friends, they would leave the house at like 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And they would drive for like 3 hours to get to Ocean City, Maryland. And they'd go and then they would just spend the entire day on the beach and then spend the 3 hours to drive back. So that's Ocean City, Maryland. What was I talking about? I literally lost my train of thought. Ocean City, Maryland. What was I talking about? Oh, so I used to like to go to Ocean City, Maryland on my birthday because I hate the beach. Like I hate summer. And so I never liked going to Ocean City, Maryland in the summer, but I like going in the off season because it's chilly, it's not as crowded, it's pretty. I really enjoy going to Ocean City in the off season. So my birthday is in March. So I would go to Ocean City. So there was a while there where like every year on my birthday I was going to Ocean City. And there was a hotel, the Hilton, which like I would always like splurge because, you know, I'm a bit of a princess when it comes to like traveling and things. So I would splurge and get like an ocean view room. Where is it? Let's see, the Hilton. It's going to be like right at the end of the boardwalk. So where is the boardwalk? If I can find the boardwalk, here's the boardwalk. Right here. Somewhere around here? No. But anyway, so one year, James and I, we went to, because I was single, And James was like my BFF, so it was like, let's go to Ocean City. Okay, yeah, we'll go to Ocean City. So we went there and we stayed like 2 or 3 nights. And James was a huge pothead. He was a huge pothead. And we were like 40. We must have been right around like 40 or 41 at the time. Ocean City, Maryland. And yeah, there it is. Wait, I still don't see it. Hilton, Ocean City, oceanfront. So rest in peace, James. Yeah, I like Rehoboth Beach. Rehoboth is nice. It's not as big as Ocean City, which is like what it has going for it. So James and I were like, I just remember this one day. We're sitting in the hotel smoking weed because James loves smoking weed. Like I was like, this was like on my like, nah, I'm not that interested. I'm good kind of thing. And this is like. James did this a lot. Now, you got to understand, like, I love James, but he had his issues. Like, he never had a driver's license. He was living with his brother. He was, like, waiting tables. Nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing wrong with waiting tables with no driver's license and living with your brother. Nothing wrong with that if you're 22, right? He's 40. He might have been, no, maybe 41. No, it wasn't my 40th birthday. It was my 39th birthday because I turned 40 the next year. Okay, so it's my 39th birthday, which means he was also 39, almost 40. So if you're approaching 40 and you're waiting tables living in your brother's basement, it's like, okay, come on, you got to like pick this up. Like, come on, let's get this going. Let's get this show on the road. Come on. And so we're just smoking weed. And I just remember he's just like, oh, that's good. And then we're just talking. He's like, you know what I would really like to do? He's like, you know what? I've been giving a lot of serious thought. And you know what what I really want to do? And I'm like, what? He's like, before I turn 45, I really want to adopt a kid. And my reaction was this. I'm just like, what? Because in my mind, I'm like, James, I love you. You're one of my best friends. But you're a 40-year-old pothead who lives in his brother's basement. Who is going to give you a child? No one. Like, what are you talking about? And he got so pissed. And so, he just goes like, and then somewhere else in the conversation, he starts like just smoking weed all day. And then he's like, you know what? He's like, I would really, like, I just kind of, like, I think what I would like to do is just get a food truck and just kind of, like, tour the country. And that'd be a great way to see America from, like, a food truck, just going to different cities. And you could post online, like, where you're going to be at and, like, get a following. And I literally said to him, I was like, you don't even have a driver's license. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? A food truck? Like, and then he got mad at that. He's like, well, I feel like you're just trying to tell me what to do. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, nope, giving up, letting it go. That might have been the downfall of our friendship. I don't know, but I'm sorry. But I just remember I literally started laughing when he told me that his plan was to adopt a child before the age of 45. Oh, God. Oh, what a mess. Rest in peace, James. Rest in peace. I miss you, brother. I do. Let's see. What was this? This is, okay. Yeah, there's lots of, I feel bad for Not Sure because, like, I think he's just following, like, he's just listening to my streams out of obligation now. Not obligation, but just like, all right, well, I'll do that because there's lots of programming streams out there. Like 3 just popped up on my window here. So, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's do it. Let's do some programming. I'm just not gonna do anything. It's a good song. It's a really sad song. It's kind of not a pathetic, but it's a good song. Oh, whoops, I skipped ahead part of it. Let me read the comments. Did I close I think I accidentally closed the, Oh, I did. I accidentally closed the studio. Let me see. When he drops you off, Not Sure says, I learned things here. Like, I just learned that robots.txt doesn't have anything to do with scrapers. No, it doesn't. No. Okay, so this is an interesting bug. So, let's see. Maybe we can try to fix this bug. So, we start up. It thinks we're logged in. And then we try to do... Well, let's see about this. Okay. So, we try to do anything. I think I know what the issue is. I think... Fuck. All right, I'm just gonna look at it. Are you drunk, Addy? I'm not drunk. I'm suddenly like really, really sad. Like really, really sad suddenly. Give me 1 second, boys. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, let's do this from here. So I think what's happening is the session information's it's the old session information. So if you have your session information renewed, like you get your session key, like your session information, you write it to the JSON file, then you close the program out, and the session, I think it has to be renewed every 15 minutes, I think. So you walk away, like you've quit the program, you walk away, and then you come back the next day. Now that session information is expired, but the application doesn't know that. So that's why when we load up, it sees, oh, we've got session information. It doesn't yet know it's bad session information. And then you try to do a request, and it gives you an error right away. So that's a bug. So I think what we can do there is basically just do some type of, I guess we can do some type of benign request, like the who am I command. It literally I think it just prints out, like it just does a request for user information. So maybe what we do is when you start up, if there is session information at startup, then we just do a who am I request in the background, and we do it before we display the prompt. And if we get an error, then we know, oh, they're not logged in. So let's see. What are we doing? Let's see. We should work on AGI. Yes, we should work on AGI. We could work on the, you know what? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll work on the, we could work on the AI portion of St. Aveline. You know what? Not sure. Actually, I have a great idea. How do I want to do this, though? All right, let me delete this. Okay. I want to save the error state of the session we're in, but I also want to log in and I want to look at the subreddit that Not Sure just posted for us. But we're going to look at it with our nifty, handy, dandy command line, so that way it's not going to show any naughty pictures, but we can still look at it, I think. Yes, I hope. We'll see. Okay. So I'm going to log out. Okay, perfect. Now, let me remember, we have to, it's going, like when we tell it to load a browser, it's going to use the last browser that had focus. Okay, so we're going to log in now. And then here's where we say, yes, we will allow this to happen. And we say, yes, we get this page. Now, actually, this access granted page, that's actually coming from the executable. That's coming locally. You can see up here, it has local host. So that's actually coming from the local instance of the application. And over here, we are logged in. So it's FURRY. Okay, so we're now in the Furry app. I just want to kind of look and see what kind of things were in, like what kind of subs, or not subs, but threads were there. Paint me a future. Paul art practice I did recently. Art by me. Let's dress up as snips. Sneps. What's a snep? I have no idea what a snep is. Bat cat or cat bat. It's so degenerate. I mean, this is probably the kind of place where Justin hangs out, I would imagine. Can we make a local copy of an entire subreddit? Yeah, I mean, you could, in theory, yes, you could use this API. Well, it's not going to be navigable like you think, unless you do some like serious work. But yes, you can. You can basically just go through and just request all the data and write it to local disk. But when I say that, what's it writing? All right, like, is it just going to write plain text? Because if it writes just plain text, that's what you're going to get is plain text. And then there is a question of media. So like you can see here, like a lot of these are just image threads or video threads. So are you writing the media? I would assume you also want the media. So like by like the what I mean by that is like the videos, the images. I guess that's probably about it. So, yeah, you can do that, but like, I mean, yes, you can do. The answer is yes, yes. Justin says, I'm not sure if not sure. I'm not sure if not sure will fuel this stream enough to survive. There's technical convo and there's soft skills convo. Well, not sure is moving in. He's renting these 2 rooms. So, and I'm giving him a 10% discount too. He's moving in. Henna says, even though I have bigger balls than most guys I know, I ain't a boy. You don't have big balls. You don't have balls. So I've been told. All right, we're going to find another song because it's just going to depress me. Oof. Justin, I can't do I can't do copyrighted music, Justin. I'll tell you what. You super chat me $10. I'll play whatever you want. Because if you super chat me $10, then that will offset the money that I'll lose from playing copyrighted music. I'm just going to stick to this. Okay. I looked. I think I have a good idea of the furry stuff. Okay, let me do this. So this should. Okay, there's the new open with. Where is Visual Studio Code? Do I not have Visual Studio Code loaded? Maybe we should just work on Yonora. So, in case you're curious, this is what the access token stuff looks like. I'm not super concerned about, whoa. Oh, it doesn't know. It doesn't know it's JSON. See here, it has, you know what? We just should look at the, oh, that's all we need to do. We just need to look at the expiry. Let me see. Am I looking at the expiry anywhere? Let me see. I am. Okay. So, what we can do, we have the expiry here. Do we have any kind of function to say if it actually is expired? Expiry, we get the last refresh. No, we don't have any kind of function to say it's expired, so let's actually write one. So this is what the AI recommended. So this is expiry equals 0. Ah. Okay, so I'm guessing that this is time. Okay, I'm guessing that this returns the current time. So if you have the current time minus the last refresh, is it? Okay. So this assumes that expiry is like it expires in 60 seconds or 60 minutes or whatever. So this would be, yeah. What is 86400 divided by 60? So that's 1,400 minutes. $24 hours. So if you don't, okay, that makes sense. So if you don't use the access token within 24 hours, it expires. Okay. Okay. So this function should be fine. I don't like this function being this big and being in the dot header and being in the header file. That almost sounded naughty. Oh man, I'm about to make some bad decisions. Let me see. Not sure says, I made my desktop headless when I was on the road, and now I'm locked out of the local access. It's not bad, actually. It uses ThinCast. I'm not sure what you're talking about. How does Arc work? I think I missed that. What do you mean, how does it work? Justin says, you do need some upbeat music. Not that not the depressing shit. I walk into Wawa, I feel good after walking out. I don't necessarily understand copyrights. All right, let's get some upbeat music. I told you, super chat me $10 and I'll play whatever you want. I don't think that's gonna work. Reddit session is, what is it called? Is expired. It is constant. Yes. All right. So I basically just moved that to the CPP file. All right. Okay. So that should work. So then when we start up, basically what we want to do is when we start up, we want to see if the token's expired. And if it is, we want to do, yeah, if it's expired, that's what we want to do. Okay. So how do we do that? I don't know because I don't remember how this works. Okay, let's see. Now, I love when Not Sure asks a question. How does ARC work? It's like, how does a car work? Like, it's a pretty open question. It's a pretty big question. How does a car work? It bothers me that the YouTube app is so different than desktop. Is it? I don't think it's that different. Also, where is Henna's man? Where is Henna's man? Okay, I can explain how a car works. Okay, how does a car work? Addie needs African vibes. Nope, it's African vibes that got me in this funk to begin with. Justin, how do you... Justin, I explained it. All right, one more time, Justin, because I want money. But if you ask a third time, I'm going to assume you're trolling. So we'll see. So anyway, so here we are. All right. Remember, you click this $sign. Here's the chat button. Here's the chat. That $sign. You click that. There you go. Super chat. Click super chat, and now you can select. What you do is you want to scroll this all the way to the right, all the way as far as it can go, and then you select that amount. All right, so we do main, and then what are we doing? A knit session probably is a good place to look. Take me to a knit session, please. Okay, here we go. It's just looking at it's looking at the session file. It's reading it in. How is it deciding? I feel I'm being exploited. You're not being... Justin is so weird with this being exploited thing. Okay. This is how he's so paranoid. And also, oh look, Not Sure sent you. I guess Not Sure sent me 10 memberships. Thank you, Not Sure. And now all these people are getting memberships. But Justin is so bizarre. So bizarre with the exploitation. Okay. And he also thinks the world kind of revolves around him. He has a little bit of that, a little bit of like narcissism. Maybe not narcissism, because I feel like that word's just thrown around too much. But he does. Okay. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. Justin's like going through some like personal stuff, right? And so, he's going through like, when you start approaching 40 and you've been married, certain things happen, right? He got divorced. So he's like in the middle of like this whole like this thing like with his ex-wife, right? Like it's very complicated. I'm not going to get into the details, but it's very complicated. But I mean, relationships usually are. So this one weekend, wait, Justin sent me a text. Yeah, why are you? What about it, Justin? He literally sends me a text, at like, Justin, if you're telling me you can't find where to send the super chat, I'm gonna come punch you. Like, this is the picture he sends me. I don't know if you can see that. You really can't see it, Justin. There it is. Right. Fuck. Oh, okay. It's not clear, but literally. Literally, it's right there, Justin. Right there. You see it? Right there. It's a dollar sign. No, not sure. No. Adios Places. That web crawlers versus index was worth $10. Teach me more. Well, what do you want to learn? What do you want to know about? Okay, we're fixing this bug. Okay, the init session we want to use this is expired. I want to know how the prompt decides whether or not it's logged in. That's what we need to hook into. I don't remember how the prompt decides if it's logged in or not. Try and get console. Okay. Oh, God, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, here we go. If session is logged in. Okay. Logged in. My track is logged in with a Boolean? Really? Really? Okay. So when we... Oh, wait. Refresh token, access token, empty. Oh. Okay. Here's how we fix this. Oh my God. How do I load up another one? No, I want to. Visual Studio always has. I can never remember how to do this with Visual Studio. I want to. Okay, duplicate as new tab. Okay, wait. Yes, that's what I want. But I want it over here. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, all right. Where is my new function? I just added a new function. Where did it go? Didn't I add it? Okay. Ah, is expired. Okay. Okay, so everything should be set. Last refresh. Perfect. Expiry. Perfect. Okay. So then I can just do this. And this is a little wompsy-jawed, but is that a word? A little wompsy-jawed, but this should work. Okay, let's just build it. This is not a valid test case, but we're going to go with it anyway. It shows me logged in, but I think that's because I actually am logged in. But let me do this. Let me delete this. And then we need to restore the old session file. I went on a run this morning. Fucking awesome. What a great run it was. 3.5 miles, nonstop running. Granted, let me see. My miles, my time. What was my time? It was slow a little bit. 3.5 miles nonstop. It was a little slow at times. My average pace. My average pace was 13:45. So not the fastest. I get it. But as I always said with running, you need to concentrate on endurance. People always want to be like, I want to go faster. No. Concentrate on endurance. And then get your endurance up there. Speed will come. Let's see. Can we have music requests now? No, not until Justin super chats me $10. What's the difference between crawling and scraping? That's a good question. So I will tell you with not an example. So let's look at an HTML website. All right. I'm going to use this as a text editor. Okay. HTML. I don't know. Input or body. Let's go up here. Head. I think it's head. Isn't it head? And then title. Not sures. Awesome. Website. All right. And then input. I don't know. I can't remember how this works exactly, but it's something like enter your name. Inputs. Is there a type? I think there's type. Like text or something. I don't remember, but you'll get the picture, right? This would be an input box. Enter your password. Input. Yeah, I think they have a name. Okay, name. And then this would kind of be the same thing. It's a little different. Name would be password here. Okay. And then this is all part of a form, right? And then the form, I think, it's been a long time. Form 1, it's been a long time. This is all part of a form. Then I think you have like a button. I feel like that's wrong, but it's like a type submit, something like that. Anyway, you get the picture. Okay. Now, and then a website will also have, let me center this and make it a little bit bigger. So a website's also then it's going to have links, right? It's going to have like, all right, we'll just make it simple, right? Another page.html. Click here. And then another link. Okay, so the difference between crawling and scraping. So what scraping is going to do, let's say that I am writing an application and I want to scrape the data for this website. Or let's just say scraping the data. Scraping is going to go through, this is a bad example, but we're going to use Reddit as an example. Generally, scraping is getting data, but scraping can also be for like what I was talking about for using Reddit's website. Let's say that this is Reddit, okay? So scraping is going to go through and it's going to be like, okay, so in order to log in, we have a form named Form 1, so I know that's going to be part of whatever post requests I make to log in. And I need to, there's going to be an input field named name, or let's just call this, there's going to be an input field called username, and then another input field called password. So you got to realize that like this form, it turns into like, these all not translate, but it corresponds to HTTP requests, right? Of like, and like with a form, you're going to have type post. I feel like you can actually define that, right? Like type equals post, I think. Post, and then it's going to have some like data. It's going to have some, where's my cursor? Okay. So it's going to be like username equals whatever you type in, right? So again, this is going to be a website, and you're going to type in, let's say you type in the name not sure, right? So not sure. And then in the password, you type in, I don't know, it's going to do password equals ABC123. Okay. All right. So the point of when you click that submit button after typing in not sure in ABC123, there's going to be an HTTP request submitted to the server for logging in. Now, the point of scraping is, what scraping is going to do is it's going to look at the HTML so that it knows how to construct this request for its app. So again, if you go to a browser, you're going to see one interface. But in the scraping example that we've been talking about, in the scraping example, I have my own application that I want to interface with your website. So in order for users to log in, I need to know how to construct the login request, which is essentially this. In order to do that, I will scrape your website. I will scrape the HTML so that I know, okay, well, this field, there's this field and there's this field, so that I know how to build my UI to match what your website essentially. Scraping is also very common. So let's say that there's a I'm trying to think. Let's just say that that for whatever reason you have stock information on your website as well. So God, what happened? Why is that out down here? Am I? Okay, that's weird. Okay. So I don't know. So you might have a table, and then you might have like a TD element. It's been a long time since I've done HTML, so I don't really remember how this goes, right? And then it might be like AOL. I don't even know if AOL still has a stock ticker, right? And then it might be 1550, 34, okay? And then actually I guess this would be TD and then TR. Right? And then you would have another one, let's say for like Microsoft. I'm just going to do 2, but you get the point. You'll get the point, right? 15, and then maybe this is $987, okay? And then, so scraping is going to, so maybe your application, if you want to scrape it, because let's say this data here is updated every second or every 30 seconds. So you might write a program that basically does a GET request for this web page for the entire thing, and then it's going to look at the HTML and it's going to be like, oh, well, I know there's a table. Typically, especially with modern day web, the way that websites are written in the modern day, you'll have things like class, right? I mean, I like class. I don't know, stock row, and then TR class, and this is going to be the same thing. But basically, what you're going to do, what your scraping program is going to do, it's going to be like, okay, I need to look for a table, and then also maybe this. I need to look for a table that has a class element of stock info, because that's where I know where the stock info is. And then under that, I'm going to look for every TR element that has a class of stock row. And then I can grab the value of that. And then I know the next TR element is the price of the stock symbol. So now I can basically grab all of this stock information from the website. And then you can do whatever you want with the data, right? So that's basically what I've done, is I've described 2 use cases of scraping, of HTML scraping, right? Basically the one where you want to use stocks, where you want to use HTML scraping to kind of build an application interface with it. And then another one Another use case is where you actually want to, and that's probably the second one's probably the most common one, where you actually want to scrape the data off of the website, right? So you're basically scraping this stock information off of the website, and then you're doing whatever you're doing with the data. That's HTML scraping. Now, HTML crawling, oftentimes HTML crawling will use HTML scraping, because what HTML crawling is doing, maybe it's also grabbing the information that you could kind of argue it's scraping and crawling, but crawling takes it a step further. Crawling is going to look at all the links in the web page. And then what's going to happen is it's going to be like, oh, there's a link here. So once I'm done scraping whatever or doing whatever I need to do with this information, once I'm done scraping the information, let me go ahead and load up another page.html. And then it'll go into another page.html and it'll do the same thing. Any links on there, it'll go into there, right? And then eventually it'll come back out. It's kind of like a tree, right? You start at the root and then you just kind of work your way down. And eventually it'll come back to the root, and then it will go to Matt's page.html and it'll do the same thing. So that's stock crawling, is basically just looking at the links inside of basically like looking at the links and scraping information from every web page. That's what Google does. Google is basically scraping and crawling. Now, I would imagine Google's scraping is it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to be doing what I described, or it's like, oh, I'm going to find something with stock info and then stock row. No, it's probably just looking at like text elements. Like, okay, what are all the text elements on the page? Like in this case, it would be like, okay, well, enter your name as a text element, enter your password as a text element. Even AOL is one, Microsoft is one, not sure. So it's going to look at all the text elements and then kind of put those into some index. So that way, when you do a Google search for awesome website, it's going to be like, oh, okay, well, here's the page that has the text awesome website. Google had an issue years ago where what people were doing is they were putting invisible text on their website, right? Like they would have a background color of white, and then they would have a text color of white. And then they would put basically things on there that would kind of like basically like search engine optimization kind of text that would basically bring more traffic to the website with this fake text that actually wasn't on the website. So you could think about it like maybe they were advertising some kind of like adult content, but it was an adult content page. But whatever, that might be a bad example, but you get the point. So because what Google was doing, they were just looking at the text elements, and so their scraper essentially, it wasn't taking into consideration the color of the text and the color of the background, and realizing like, oh, that's invisible for people, but not invisible for a computer. They did fix that eventually. I'm not sure how they fixed it, but they did fix it. Let me talk a little bit about, or not let me talk, let me look at the chat. I haven't looked at that in a while. That web crawl, okay, we looked at that. I just paid. What's the difference? No, dude, I'll give that $10 and change to change this depressing music, but this YouTube UI is not intuitive. It's a fucking $, Justin. Press it. Jesus Christ, how much have you had to drink? God. Addy doesn't need the money to validate who he is as a person. Yes, I do. Going slow also prevents injury. I've lost the context. I don't know what we were talking about there. He just needs love, Justin said. So, yeah, Justin's been drinking. Wearing the tank top is cool. Not everyone can pull it off, but Justin is so drunk. I can see the audience participants. Not sure. It's just you and me. It is just, I think even Henna left. AOL is owned by an Italian company now. Weren't they? They were bought by Yahoo, weren't they? And I guess who's Yahoo owned by? Bending Spoons. What would Addie's midlife crisis be? I am well past my midlife, sir. I am well past it. But I recently had a midlife crisis. And that midlife crisis has broken my heart. So, all right, boys, I'm going to head out of here. I am Bending Spoon. Bending Spoon. Is that really the name of the company? owned by Bending Spoons, an Italian tech company. They bought AOL in January for $1.5 billion. Wow. I'm actually surprised they were able to get $1.5 billion. Wow. How many dial-up customers does AOL still have? AOL does not. Oh, that's right. They did. I remember. Because I'm part of a couple of AOL alumni groups on Facebook, and I remember them talking about the end of an era that they discontinued dial-up service. Wow. Are there still any dial-up internet services in the U.S.? Hannah says, I'm here. Yes, the dial-up internet still exists in the U.S. While the iconic AOL officially shut down its network. So Net Zero is still around. Juno is still around. Wow. All right. I'm going to call it a stream. Yeah, wow. I'm going to go to Cape Town next Thursday. And then I'm going to stay in Cape Town for a week. And then I'm going to go to Namibia. Hopefully not sure I'll be living here. That would be nice. I'm not going to let you live that down, not sure. Not until you agree to move in. Not until you, because he's like, I think I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Come on. Did you get a new laptop? I did not get a new laptop. I did not. Nope. Oh, wait. I have not done the official blood pressure check. I took it this morning. I took my blood pressure this morning. It was 104/64. I'm like, what the hell? Is that that felt too low. I was scared that it was too low. Okay, I'm going to take my blood pressure. Let's go. It's probably a little high right now. Oh my God, it's squeezing tighter. It's going to cut my hand off. Come on. I think it's going to err. No. Whoa. Okay. Wait a minute. I got to write it down. So it is 2 o'clock. 2 p.m. It is 148/88. That's high. That's quite a difference from 104/64. It's quite a difference, but whatever. All right, fellas. And Henna, I'm going to head out of here. Henna says she likes sausage fests. Of course she does. I love you, boys. And Hannah. Love you all. Not sure. Come on, man. Come on. You know you want to move in. You know you do. You know you do. It's a nice room. It's a beautiful room. All right. Love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Don't be late. All right. Bye.